Morning, everybody. It is March 23rd, 2020. Excuse me. Ooh, coffee burps. 9:49 here in sunny Aguascalientes, Mexico. It's going to be a fresh 90 degrees today, or 90 degrees. And we are on our next week of coronavirus containment. And the thing is, I think this is going to be a very important week. Like, we're going to see if what we're doing works by the end of it. Not immediately, but we will probably see some sort of movement. But like they say, and it's something we have to accept, it's going to get worse before it gets better. But, for example, I saw in the news that in Italy, they're already kind of starting to reach the apex. Like, they're getting to the really the worst of the worst of the worst. Like, but the index of deaths is starting to slow down. Like, it's starting to slow down, so then they start maybe going slower down. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this, but it's usually like in any sickness, if you look at this as a human with a sickness, there's always the peak and then there's the road back to health. So let's see what happens. Anyways, already gave my virtual class, my English class this morning. A lot of my students, I left a project that they have to do what I'm doing. They have to do video diaries, not the 2-hour versions I do. I say 4 minutes, that's fine. And they're doing a great job. I'm actually very, very happy. Even the ones that don't particularly like school or something, they're actually getting into it. I think it's because it appeals to the we all want to be YouTubers effect. So I'm very happy to see what they're doing, and they're very creative. I'm very happy with what they're doing. What else can I tell you? Yeah, you kind of run out of trivial shit to talk about in these circumstances. Pardon my French. You started accidentally getting into more real things. But just on another positive note, I kind of had a little bit of an epiphany in this situation. Right now, we're all basically Swedish prisoners, or like in Norway, because you hear that some of their prisons are better than most hotels, and plus you get like a college education. And we should really look at that as this right now, because we're getting an amazing opportunity to expand our knowledge and our skills. So take this opportunity. I know it doesn't sound appealing, especially when we have Netflix and video games and television. But dude, there's like thousands of language courses out there. Well, if you're a big anime fan like me, maybe it's a great time to learn Japanese. If you always wanted to learn French or Italian, this is a fantastic time to learn a new language. So I'm not sure if we have enough time to learn Russian or German, but yeah. I think German's not that hard. Or I've heard that it is. I don't know, but I think Japanese is the hardest, so maybe I shouldn't be talking about this. And Chinese. So, yeah, learn stuff. It's a great moment to learn stuff. So, do it. Plus, expand your artistic skills. Like I said the other day, write, draw, paint, make sculptures out of paper mache. I don't know. There's plenty of material in your house to do that. Maybe get into a new training regimen, at-home exercising, make 1980s Rocky montage exercises or something. I don't know. Damn coffees. My third cup. I should never have a third cup of coffee, because this is what happens. Plus, I get mild anxiety after that. Anyways, what else can I tell you? Yeah, also, this is something I wanted to dive into. Take whatever I'm giving you as just advice. This is not like me trying to be like your pandemic czar or anything. No, it's just me trying to, one, vent, and two, just trying to keep this, trying to develop habits that are good. And I think a video diary is a good one. But, only take so much of my information and stuff as you want, because not everything I could give you is probably positive or whatever. But the thing is, it's kind of hard to take seriously a man that is a 35-year-old man, 35-year-old single man living with his parents, which has always been like, it's part of who I am. And anybody who knows me or vaguely knows me knows that's a factor in my general personality, in my general life. And and I wanted to talk about the idea or the fact that I am. There's certainly negatives to it, but there's also positives to it. And we live in especially now. We're actually becoming a more binary society for the next month. But like anything in life, there's not just like this is the right thing to do and this is the wrong thing to do. A lot of it's like right here. If this picture was taken out of context for a thumbnail, I would get demonetized. I'm not even monetized in videos. Anyways, but yeah, I'm a 35-year-old male, single, living with his parents. And that raises eyebrows. Like whenever I do bring it up with people that don't know me that well, they're like, what? Especially with my students, actually. Because first off, to a high school student, if you're already in your 30s, you're technically retired, which I always thought was hilarious. Now I see it. When you're 30, in your 30s, you feel like you're 15 too. You get to have more stress. Anyways, but the thing is that it's always been a situation that I've learned that I don't have to explain myself anymore. Because yes, to ignore the fact that how it looks and how it actually is detrimental both to me and to the people around me. So, because you hear 35-year-old man living with his parents, first word that pumps into your head is man-child. And I can't debate that. Not at all. I can't. Yes, and I'm sure that's a high percentage in my overall psyche, is that I am a man-child. And it's something I have have been working on and with for some time now. And it's actually been something of a negative factor in certain relationships in my life, where it is too apparent to ignore. And I understand that. That's something I have learned to understand and accept. It looks that way because it is that way. And it'll be eventually altered when I decide to alter it. And just because I am still a part of this household at this age does not mean that my growth as a person has been stopped. Because yes, there's a, like those, I'm not sure if it's a hexagon or a pentagon of, that skill graph that we usually have. Sure, so certain things are affected, but others are also benefited. And also, to be honest, I do this for both two reasons. And I have to be honest about two. One, it's a comfortable situation for me right now. Why? Because yes, I am still trying to be an aspiring screenwriter, and a lot of time has to be focused towards that. And I have a job. Like I said, I'm an English and creative writing teacher, but it doesn't pay the bills. But it gives me enough time to still work on the other thing. So this is an optimal situation for me to keep chasing my dream. And not to give me any excuses, but regular screenwriters usually don't really get any sense of success until their 30s, like demographically speaking. You hear about dudes like J.J. Abrams that like hit it big at 22, or like the guy who wrote Die Hard at 18. Which if you watch Lethal Weapon. Which if you watch Lethal Weapon now, it's still great. It's it holds up so well. But you could tell an 18-year-old wrote it. I think that's part of the fun of it, I guess. But yeah, so that's worked out for me a lot. Two, my parents are 88 and 78 years old. They're still in fantastic shape, and their noggins are working better than ever. My dad just came back from jogging. But they're in that part of their lives now where they're exceptions to their life expectancy now, which we're being honest. And so I still have the opportunity to hang out with them. And being that I am still the only one, I'm the only one in my family now that's single and doesn't really have a standard structure to my life yet, I've been given this great opportunity to still hang out with them, still watch TV with them, go to grocery shopping, shoot the shit with them. So why not? Why not be able to have that comfort that when eventually their road ends, I could say I was there. you know, and that's an important thing to me. 3, I already basically mentioned that. It's a great living arrangement. I can't deny that. It's a fantastic house, and it's a very interesting thing that happens whenever I have friends over and they see where we live, which is a very idyllic area of Aguascalientes. We live outside of the city. It's very quiet. It's nice. The birds are singing, and you're just on a rocking chair outside, and you can just hear the tranquility here. Like they tell me, very close people, and it's like, nah, I get it. I get why you're not like desperately getting out of here. And the thing is, there will come a time in my life where this will change. 1, because of choice. 2, because of life. Everything changes. And especially if the cosmos allows it, and my willpower is stubborn enough, there will come a time where I'm not going to be here. And there will come a time that I'll meet somebody. And there'll come a time where I cannot be as how can I put it, important in my parents' lives as I am now. But that is going to happen, and I'm prepared for that to happen. But for now, I'm exactly enjoying this moment as much as I can. And so yeah, and plus it's you learn not to get bothered by things as much as because that used to actually really hurt me a while ago. That people would look at me and like, look at that man child. And I'm like, my mom just did shit. I'm like, yeah, you're right, but I've been given the opportunity to still maintain a level of creativity that I think a lot of people my age have lost. So yeah, it's a little bit about that. I know it makes me hesitate when I talk about this because, to be honest, I don't have a firm grip around it myself. But it's something that I live with, and it's not a negative thing whatsoever. It's a positive, but it's like basically trying to express that I understand there's 2 sides of this, and I'm okay with that. Because plus, yes, my parents love having me here, and I love being here for them because, and you also have to be careful with that because you have to be careful how much help you are without inhabilitating them. And I think that's an important thing for everybody who has older people in their family. Be careful with that because they're still very functional and very capable of stuff. And if you're so desperate to help them with everything, you make them useless. So don't do that. They're still very capable in a lot of things, so just measure the waters, all right? But the thing is, I enjoy being able to be here for them, especially right now in this circumstance. I would not want my parents alone during this virus, because thankfully I've been able to contain them in the premises today, well, for the last week and a half or so. And if it wasn't for me being here and being able to take the proper precautions, I would be absolutely terrified of their circumstances. So, you know, things happen for a reason. Plus, this is a great time to be a writer. Right? Horrible things are happening, but you got to see the silver lining, especially if you're a creative. And this is a great time for that. So, yeah, I got kind of real, didn't it? Don't worry, I'll keep talking about anime and video games every other day. But yeah, just there you go. So, thanks for watching, dudes. I'm gonna go. Actually, I have to go to the pharmacy for some eye drops for my dad, and maybe go get some cheese. We're on stage 1 still here in Mexico, so we're still basically allowed to go get groceries, and everything's actually relatively calm at this time of the day. So stay safe, everybody. For all the people that are still essential employees, thank you for all that you're doing, and stay super safe. You're essentials, and because you're essentials, you have to be super essential special at taking care. Anyways, I was gesticulating a lot with my hands today because I don't know. Anyways, I wish you all goodbye. This is basically how people in Power Ranger shows talk. So, Tony Marino, sounding off. Russell, signing off. It's morphing time. Actually, yes, now that I realize, if I was a Power Ranger, I guess I would have a robot brontosaurus. I wonder what my weapon would be, because yes, I would have a robot brontosaurus, but I think my brain goes into very disturbing places if I have to think like, what would I have if it was a brontosaurus weapon? I think it would just be very naturally phallic, just being honest. Anyway, okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.